Yes, people, what's going on? Welcome to Stretford, Paddock. I am Adam McCullough, and he is Joe.
How you doing?
Sloppy Joe, apparently, these days.
Well, you know how it goes, mate. There's a podcast here, a podcast there. It just happens, doesn't it? Sloppy Joe's podcast. Check it out. Link in the description.
Yeah, man. Go and check it out. It's good. I listened to... I think was it your first episode?
Yeah.
I heard one of them anyway, and it was pretty good. It was pretty good. I got to finish it off later. So yeah, I'm here with my co-host, who's been stolen by another Joe, but we're here anyway to bring you Uncensored. Yes. Now you know the rules of Uncensored. We start talking about a topic, whatever the latest topic is, and then we'll just get taken wherever we want. It might be down a football route. It might not be down a football route. So those are the rules of Uncensored, which is kind of more unscripted than Uncensored, because if you do say, you know, the C-U-N, you know, that word, we have to censor it.
Yeah. If you start talking
about... Because of YouTube and that.
Yeah. James Cundy, whatever his name is. What's he called on TalkSport?
Jason
Cundy. We will have to censor that, the C-U-N word, so we can't use that.
Yeah. I mean, you know what's mad, yeah? Like, that word is... quite bad, isn't it? Like to some people, but like in my house, we use it quite freely as like, you know, just like, you know,
we use it quite freely, but that is because we all absolutely hate each other. So.
No, well,
so that's why.
In a loving way.
No, of course.
And like, so when I use it out of my house, in the same way, I look a bit mental sometimes. Yeah,
it means different things in different places. In America, it's like, do not say it. It's really, people will gasp if you say it. But I think in a lot of places in England, especially in like Scotland, just say it to me.
They'll put their gun down and gasp if you say it in America.
How dare, clutch both pistols across their chest out. I cannot believe what I've heard. I cannot believe it. Yeah, they're stunned.
So today we start off, Joe, not talking about the C word, talking about Rangnick. Part-time Rangnick, as we're going to call him now, because his role's been reduced to a part-time role, and he's taken on another job at Austria.
It's sad, isn't it, having to see good, hard-working blokes like Ralph Rangnick have two jobs just to keep the lights on. It's not good.
He's going to be that's singing, come and get your black bin bags.
He's got the Austrian job, hasn't he? Which is a weird job. Like, not that Austria is an odd thing, but it's like, it's very much, you know, when you do like a FIFA career mode, it's one of those first international teams that approach you, and it's always like Switzerland, USA, Austria. I think he's just taken the first contract that got put in front of him. He could have held out for Brazil probably. But all the evidence was that he was only going to be doing like a handful of days a month for United. And let's be honest, an international job for 10 months of the year is pretty much part-time anyway, isn't it? It's like, unless there's a tournament on, it's not a day-to-day, 9 till 5 in the office on the training ground type of job. So he'll have plenty of time to do the United stuff, plenty of time to do the Austria stuff. I think it's actually good for him to keep his eye in on the sort of coaching side, because he hasn't actually done that much in the last few years. So we'll probably see more out of him for United with that experience continuing.
I think that is logic, yeah. I think that's right. But I also have this massive sceptical side to me, and I know you have this as well, where I just feel in 3 months' time, United are going to release a statement saying Rangnick's decided to focus on his Austria job. Because, you know, it just feels half-arsed by Manchester United. And as a result, you can't blame him. Like, if someone's only offering you whatever it is, a day a week or something. like, if I was saying to you, Joe, we're only going to have you in 1 day a week. Yeah. I can't blame you if you then go and start doing stuff elsewhere, you know what I mean? Like, and it's the same with Rangnick. Like, so I just fear that it's going to boil down to United and him not kind of seeing eye to eye, and then it.
I could imagine that, like I said, that press release of United, Ralph Rangnick, we wish him all the best in his future role. Yeah. We thank him for the work he's done, bringing in Ten Hag and overlooking the squad during a difficult period for the club, all that shit. I can already see that press release being thinking, and then everyone going, well, he didn't do anything anyway, so it's good that we got rid of him. When actually, what we should have done is got the best out of his mind and his knowledge, rather than marginalise him so that he feels like he has to leave. But hopefully he can do both at once. I think hours in the day wise, there's definitely enough of him to do both of those jobs.
What do you make of those people that kind of, because I don't like to refer to it a lot, but I did hear like some people on the radio going, Rangnick should be sacked and that. And it's like, first of all, it's mental. But it's like, what do you think of his role? Do you think he's been more good than bad, more bad than good?
He's been very much a short-term loss for long-term gain, hasn't he? If there is any gain. Like, obviously, we don't know whether there will be long-term gain yet because it hasn't happened. But there has been no short-term gain, that's for certain. He's got the worst winning ratio of any Manchester United manager ever, I think. Short-term hasn't been good. But the only thing we can hope is the fact that he comes out, slags the players off, slags the board off, says that like X, Y, and Z needs changing, otherwise we're never going to catch up to City and Liverpool. As the sitting Manchester United manager, like we've seen Van Gaal come out and say some shit. We've seen Jose come out with this sort of cryptic criticism of players and ownership, but we've never seen them do it so blatantly whilst they were still employed by Manchester United. So if he does have his success and he does have some sort of effect on the club, I think it's going to have to be long term, because when he said, I might need to replace 6, 8, 10 players, do you think the players heard that and went, I love hearing that. That's going to make me play well for the rest of the season? I
do think he's been brought in to, obviously we hoped he'd get top 4 and stuff like that. But I think it was more like what you said, long-term gain, maybe some short-term pain. Yeah. He reveals the issues before the next manager comes in. And I hope that is what we're seeing, because the next manager might come in and he might still be lumped with half of these guys, do you know what I mean? Which, likelihood is a big possibility. So I do hope it's a case of, and I think because of that, he's been coming to kind of critically analyse what's wrong at Man United. That him then telling people what's wrong at Man United is going to make you lose the dressing room. Where maybe his role shouldn't have been the manager, like he shouldn't be a manager, you know what I mean? That's probably why he's never really been more of a successful manager than a director of football. But typical for Man United, the minute we get a director of football, we appoint him as a manager. Like, we just don't have a clue what we're doing, which
what do you think of I love how, because Rangnick's been saying how the board and like everything above us is crap, and he's been saying it all in press conferences. I love how Scott McTominay's now like, he's saying it, I can say it, and then coming out after games going, obviously there's all the problems above us, we don't have to worry about that. Like, he's got some right bollocks on him when he's putting in like 5 and 6 out of 10s every week. Now he's criticising the board and the
generous.
Owners. Yeah.
I was watching that game yesterday. I was thinking, I wish he played midfield as good as he talks, because it's just shambles. Like, look, he's not the only one that's crap. Let's be honest, but doesn't show for the ball. Doesn't really, But anyway, let's forget that. I don't want to talk about that. I'm trying to be on this positive vibes only kind of tech.
Positivity.
Because you know what? As well. What's the point discussing results anymore about Man United? The season's over. It's finished. Nothing's changed since the Atletico Madrid game. We've learned nothing new about this season. We have learned nothing new about this season. At the moment, what's that phrase? You're beating the dead donkey.
Beating a dead horse. Flogging a dead horse. Well, you can beat a dead donkey if you want.
Yeah, it's a bit sad that. Let's say flogging a dead horse. Even that's a bit sad. But is flogging in the sales sense or like
No, it's
smashing?
flogging as in smashing it. Hitting it. Yeah.
Oh.
It's bad that, innit? Imagine doing that. What are you doing there? Just flogging this dead horse. You know that's not going to do anything, don't you? There's like a famous saying about how that won't work.
I don't know.
Let me just keep hitting it. I think it might come back. Let's just whack the crap out of
flogging
it. It's flogging a dead horse. Of course it is.
Meaning. Waste energy on a lost cause. But where did it come from? The origin from the expression, beat a dead horse, comes from the mid-19th century, when the practice of beating horses to make them go faster was often viewed as acceptable. To beat a dead horse would be pointless, as it wouldn't go. Is it like when you're in a race and you're like last, but you're like smashing the horse in trying to get it to go, and you're like, it's not going to go first, it's dead.
Yeah, there's no point hitting it now. It's already dead. Which is sad.
That's like United, which is what we're basically saying at United. We are flogging that dead horse.
Exciting news, our friends over at Manscaped have just launched their 4th generation performance package, and that includes the Lawnmower 4.0. 4.0? That's right, the Lawnmower 4.0, which includes a 7,000 RPM motor to take care of your spuds when you need it most. Make sure you join 2 million men who trust Manscaped, and you can do that by going to manscaped.com and getting 20% off and free shipping using the code Paddock 20. We've all had it where you're trying to trim downstairs, you've got a big date coming up, it's your Valentine's, it's the anniversary, you need to look spick and span down there. But what happens? You end up using your mum's hair scissors, you end up trying to do something weird, getting a blowtorch out of the shed, using an axe that your dad uses to chop wood for the fire. None of that's going to work. You're going to cut yourself, you're going to nick yourself. We've all been there, using the scissors to try and go around your balls like some sort of weird stencil. It's not going to work. You're going to nick them, and you're going to really regret ever trying to make it a DIY job. That's where Manscaped comes in. Look at this. This, quite simply put, is the greatest device in trimming your pubes that has ever existed. It's a lawnmower 4.0. It's got a 7,000 RPM motor, and the best thing about it is the anti-nick technology. You can see that there. Anti-nick technology, right? What that means is that you're not going to catch your spuds when you're trying to clean up in your trousers. Make sure you check out Manscaped. Again, it's not just this. They've got this, the crop reviver. This is what you put on. You're going straight out after work. It's in your work bag. Let me just nip to the toilet. Let me just freshen up. You got this bad boy, the crop preserver, straight out of the shower, pop it on. Deodorant for under the arms, crop preserver for under the garms. You know what I mean? You know it is. And one of the best things about the Lawn Mower 4.0 is that it's waterproof. So you can do it in the shower, you can do it over the sink, you can do it at a public pool if you really want to. You might get kicked out, but you can do it there. That's the thing. Shave your pubes out in the rain if you want to. If that's what your thing is, you've got some weird fetish where you get in your truck, you drive out to a hillside, get in the flatbed, wait for it to rain, trim your pubes. This thing isn't going to electrocute you, and you're fine to do that because that's your property. Or just do it in the shower like I do. It's fantastic, easy clear up, and you don't have to worry about it breaking. And not just does that mean, yes, I can do it in the shower, it also means it's easy to clean because you get in there, sometimes you get your little brush, trying to do it, trying to blow on it, get your little pubes out. No one wants that. Run it under the tap, it's clean, perfect to be stored away. So, you know what, your mum don't find it or your missus don't find it. Or she might use it, to be honest. So make sure you check out manscaped.com. Again, use the code Paddock20 at checkout for 20% off and free shipping. Thank you once again to Manscaped for sponsoring the podcast. Back to the show, lads.
So let's just forget that. We're not going to learn nothing to the summer, Ten Hag. That's when we can start talking about new things, yeah? Like at the end of this season. So I went to this United game against, who did we play? Chelsea. And I was sat there dreading the decision to have turned up. But then a moment clicked. And it was just before Ronaldo scored, funnily enough. So we were just gone 1-0 down. And Cristiano Ronaldo was clearly our best player. And I looked on the pitch and I thought, I was sitting there thinking, we need to appreciate this, you know. Because although he stands out like a sore thumb on this pitch because everyone around him is useless, we haven't got long left of Ronnie as a footballer, you know, playing week in, week out. Let's be real. Who knows if he's going to be at United next season? But even as a footballer, like, he's not going to be playing for much longer. We need to appreciate this. And then literally moments after the great pass from Matic, he brings the ball down and scores. And it kind of just cemented my feeling at that point. And I left there thinking, them lot are useless bellends. But how good is it to still see Cristiano Ronaldo?
Yeah.
Like, he's a phenomenon. And when we've got grandchildren and all that kind of stuff, we're gonna say, mate, I saw Cristiano Ronaldo in the flesh.
Yeah.
In the flesh. Not only when Man United were crap, I obviously saw him when United were amazing as well, but even at 37, he's got nearly, 20 goals in the Premier League. He'll be playing for this youth. Imagine he played for City. Imagine he played for Chelsea yesterday. Some of those crosses that Reece James was putting in.
Yeah, ridiculous. He'd have had 4 goals yesterday. Let alone,
I reckon he has 40 goals this season if he plays one of the top 3 teams.
Yeah, probably. He'd be absolutely bagging him in. And like I said, he's a player that we will tell stories about for the rest of our lives. Like how my dad talks about seeing Dennis Law and Bobby Charlton and George Best. Talking about Ronaldo will be something we do until we die. And it'll be, oh, these young players today are good, but they're not Ronaldo. They're not, Rooney and Scholes and these handful of players. But Ronaldo is, you do have to appreciate it. And it is almost a good time to do it when you see everyone else's effort level is here. and he's won everything, and he's 37, and he needs a rest, and this, that, and the other, and his effort level is still here compared to all these young players who are trying to prove themselves. It does just stand out as just how remarkable he is as one of the great sort of mentality players in sports history, let alone football history. His mentality, his professionalism, his work rate is just so above
everything. Because of that as well, because of all those things you mentioned, and I know you're not taking away this from him, but it doesn't get mentioned how good his first touch is at times, how good his passing is at times. Like, I know he does some stupid things sometimes in the sake of being greedy, but like his first touch from that Matic pass, like against Chelsea, unbelievable. Some of his passing, first touch passing, that some people don't like. The other players ain't even on the same wavelength, and it's funny because people have called him the problem, and I just find it crazy. Like, this guy is a phenomenon. Yeah. Like, he is unbelievable. And to have seen Cristiano Ronaldo, I remember seeing his debut and seeing that to this, mate. Remarkable, man. Enjoy it. If you're thinking of, if you've got a ticket for the game or a season ticket for the game on Monday and you're thinking, I might not go because this is just dead. Yeah. We might lose against Brentford. We might lose 3-1 against Brentford. And Cristiano Ronaldo might just score.
Well, it's only going to be him if it's 3-1, isn't it? No one else is scoring, let's be honest. But yes, after the game yesterday, I went and got some food. And I was in a like kebab shop getting a chicken wrap, lovely. But in there was these two
salad chili mayo.
Of course, yeah. All the salads as well. Do you know sometimes when you get like some places where they start putting weird salad in that you've never had before, and you're like, I'll still go with it, but there's like full chilies with like stems and stuff in the wrap.
Oh, you don't like them?
I love them, but I don't know how to navigate the stem when it's inside a wrap.
No, you gotta have it.
Yeah, pull it out like at the Sword in the Stone, like Merlin, or whatever his name was. But there's these two guys in there, like United tops on, talking to the guy behind the counter, and he's like, oh, where are you from? And they're from Guatemala, and they'd come to that game to see Ronaldo. And like, people who get to watch United every week, obviously great, but for some people, like, that might be their only time of seeing Ronaldo play for Man United. And it is so special for people. Like I said, if you can go to the game and you get to go every week, appreciate what you're seeing, especially with Ronaldo, of one of the greatest footballers, one of the greatest athletes of all time, coming toward the end of his career. We are so lucky to be able to see it. Even if everything else this season has been shambolic, there is still that to sort of cling on to.
What a guy, man. What a guy. And that's with the backdrop of what's just gone on in his life.
Yeah. Good point.
I don't know how these guys do it, man. Like,
I'd still be in bed.
It's bang on as well. Like, he'd be allowed to be in that position, you know what I mean? Like there's nothing wrong with that. But this guy is a machine. But I hope that he does. This is a kind of a deep comment to make, but it's uncensored. I hope he does have time to mourn. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because he sort of missed.
Because he's kind of just, isn't he just bottling? I mean, let's not talk about that. You know.
Yeah.
You kind of feel like he's just carried on.
Yeah.
That must not. You know, he needs
Hopefully
time.
Hopefully he's got good people around him that allow that, and that he can have a bit of a break over the summer as well.
After the game on Monday, I know he wants to be top goal scorer and that, and he probably knows he can do it or thinks he can do it. I just said to say, have an extended break, brother.
Yeah. Well,
because he's got the World Cup in
1,000 goals, doesn't he?
Real goals.
Real goals as well. I mean, you think of the goal, like all the goals he scored. You know, he's the top scorer in the history of football, isn't he?
Yeah.
He has only ever scored for really good teams. All of his goals have come for Portugal, Sporting Lisbon, Manchester United, Real Madrid, and Juventus. That's it. No fluff, no second division, no filler, no went to America for a couple of years. He scored in the hardest leagues in the world exclusively. It's absolutely ridiculous that he's the top scorer of all time as well, isn't it? It's just absolutely mad. So good.
He's 3 away from 700 club goals as well.
Yeah, ridiculous. He'll probably want that this season.
Yeah, he probably wants that against Brentford. So,
exactly.
Be there.
Another hat-trick. Yeah, exactly.
Just Viva Ronaldo, innit? I love him.
Yeah.
Like, just Viva Ronaldo.
He's been one of the only things to like this season, let's be honest. There's not much else to like.
And Big Dave.
Yeah, he's been all right as well. Who else has been any good? We've seen Fred have a bit of a resurgence in recent weeks.
But you know,
I know you can't go with it. You can't go with it, can you?
I think if we had a DM, I'd be right there with you.
Yeah.
it's because we look at him as if he's our DM, so we go, you're the problem. When really, he's probably not the problem. The problem is we haven't got a DM.
Yeah. If you put like Rodri in that team, you could probably have Fred and Bruno next to him and kind of have a functioning midfield there. But
what's happened to Bruno, man?
But let's not worry about Bruno because he's got, 14 assists, 9 goals. It's not, it's not Bruno, but he'll be back next season. Bruno will be back next season.
I worry about Marcus as well. Marcus,
well,
that's
a different question entirely, yeah.
I need to give him a hug or something, man.
Yeah, someone does.
Yes, against Chelsea, there was one point in time there where, and this is what's making me worried. There was Cristiano Ronaldo had just got the ball. I don't know, I can't remember what had happened in the build-up, but the ball went to a Chelsea player. Rashford was there, Ronaldo was behind him, and Ronaldo kind of pointed at him. So like, go press that. And then Rashford didn't do it, and Ronaldo just bent over like... And I remember I was sitting there thinking, what's happened, man?
Yeah.
This is what United have... See, I can't do this. You know what? This ain't Marcus Rashford has to take some personal responsibility for his form and do basics like that.
Yeah.
But you look around, man. He's not the only player to go this way. Like, we need to change. This club needs a quick change. Fast.
Because that as well, like the pressing stuff. Yeah, we're sinking deep. The pressing stuff is like, not only should you not have to have someone tell you to do it, obviously, for the top teams, the players, it's so ingrained in them that it's just instinctive. Marcus himself shouldn't have to think, should I press or not? You should just know and already be running as soon as that ball is being played to the man near you or however your pressing triggers work. So the fact that he didn't think to do it, and then even when Ronaldo told him to do it, it still wasn't enough to sort of get him, like, it's fallen so far with him that, I think definitely give him another season, obviously. Because
I'm excited to see what Ten Hag can do with him.
But it's sad at the minute, innit, with Marcus? More than anyone else, I think.
Yes. And it's sad to... Look, I don't like booing anyone, so I'm a bit of a softie. I don't ever boo our own players.
No, me neither.
I'll rant about the owners and that. F them. And shout out the people that put the Glazers outside in the stands. But... There's even like jeers and things like that. I didn't even like... Everyone knows my opinions on Harry Maguire. I've been quite consistent. I don't think he's Man United quality. But even I didn't agree with when he got kind of booed.
No.
I don't agree with like the jeers and that of him.
No, I don't.
It just... And I know people hate saying this now. But he is one of us, you know what I mean? Like, I know people hate saying that. Oh, he gets away with it because... But yeah, that's a thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, yeah. He's a Man United fan.
Guess what? Sometimes your little brother's a twat and he gets away with it. Because he's your little brother, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like, you're not going to let some random mute do that. No. So it's like, it's the same with... man.
Yeah, it's different with Marcus. It does feel different. And also, because of all the other stuff as well. And again, it's like, just because the off-field stuff. Well, yeah, but that makes me like him more. What can I say? Like, I like him as a person and therefore want him to be successful as a person. But also,
he's a very good player, man.
And he's a great player, yeah. But there's all of these things that go into it that make it more painful when he's playing.
Or at least he was.
Yeah.
It's like he's been space jammed.
Yeah, it is a bit. He's come back... Charles Barkley come back down all like goggle-eyed and confused. That's Marcus Rashford just come back down like he's had someone take over his brain. Yeah, it is weird, isn't it?
So, Marcus, if you want a hug, man, I'm here for you, bro.
Yeah, we're dishing out the hugs all day if you want them. I'll be stood on the corner at Stevenson Square. Come for a hug. 1 till 5. Just like that. How fast would we get kicked in the bollocks if I just stood out like that? Oh, straight in the knob immediately. And quite rightly too as well.
What do you think of those people that do stuff like that?
It's like a little art installation.
No, but then like there's someone recording it like for social. Yeah. Like, free hug me.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think?
It's funny, isn't it? It is funny. And then they always get beaten up and they get told off. Did you see that guy who was like picking on Mike Tyson the other day? It's not the same thing, but he was like going up to him on the plane. Did you see that?
No.
So there's a video.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Mike Tyson. You said Mike Tyson. I thought you said something else then.
Yeah, no, Mike Tyson. And then afterwards, he was like taking the piss out of him for ages, getting right up to him. And then he clearly smashed his face in. And then afterwards, his mate was filming it still going, he's just done my mate in and he just asked for an autograph. No, he didn't. And you filmed the whole thing. It was you that filmed it.
And his face is there all cut up and he's like...
I just asked for an autograph. Like, sat on his chair, fizzing about.
Nah, if Mike Tyson punches you probably deserved it.
Well, unless you're, someone in his close family.
No, this Mike Tyson, who's all, tries to be nice and that.
Modern Mike.
Yeah, modern Mike. He's not, a fucking ass Mike. He's not
yeah, I don't like that Mike. I don't like any of them. But I don't like him, and that still wasn't his fault. But yeah, would you do that just where you sort of... Do you know those videos where people go up to people and give them loads of money and stuff and then film it and put it on social media?
Oh, no. I get why people... I think people film it... Sometimes it's filmed to, showcase, yo, there's good shit in the world. We see enough bad shit.
Yeah.
So, if people do good shit and they film it, as long as they ask permission. Because there's good shit happening ultimately, even if there isn't another motive behind it.
Positive.
Yeah, so... But I prefer, I personally wouldn't put cameras on it.
No.
But then
and also
we might do something for a charity which you want to make the most of, and therefore you have to film it. So who am I to judge?
And also often when a bad thing gets filmed, the argument is you shouldn't see the footage because it might encourage other people to do a copycat bad thing. And yet when it's a good thing, surely the same logic applies. If someone sees someone doing something good, they may be more likely to copy that. Whereas when it's a good thing, because we're also bothered about people having an ego and showing off, we just assume it would never make someone else do something good, but it might do. But even so, don't film yourself giving a homeless person $1,000 or whatever, and then go to the camera like that. Oh no!
I mean, if you're going to give a homeless person $1,000, film yourself. Go and do it right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you're giving a homeless person $1,000. If they're going to give $1,000, bro, who are we to stop a homeless person getting $1,000 in this climate?
Not me. I wouldn't do it.
So, but on a level though, if you see someone and they need a bit, give them some. And if you ain't got change, chat to them like human beings, man. What's wrong with some of these people?
Yeah.
Even if it's just, all right, mate. Sorry, I ain't got nothing. But how you doing? You're all right.
Yeah.
Some of these people don't even acknowledge them, man.
I know. Horrible. I saw someone having a fight once with one. Someone sat in front of him, they went over to him, and he was just starting on him. And I was like, mate, what are you doing? And he was sat next to him, bladdered, and he was proper taking the piss out of him. All right, dickhead he was. And then he got up and walked off and we sat with him. But imagine doing that. People just pick on anyone, don't they?
Mate, when you look like Jesus, you need to walk over and intervene.
I sometimes do. Or sometimes I watch from a distance like a coward and hope it all works out.
Come on now, my children. There is no need for this.
Calm yourselves. The Lord is watching. The great CCTV in the sky. He will see if you commit adultery.
Oh,
any other sins. What are you doing this weekend then?
It's about to go to watch United, but that's on Monday, isn't it?
It's weird having a weekend off, isn't it?
The kick-off is... So you remember in Sopranos when... who was it? Chrissy Moltisanti. He said...
I haven't seen it, but I'll say yeah. Go on.
Oh, fuck it. I hate
go on. He said what?
So he said... Because he's Italian gangster, isn't it?
Yeah.
He says, in hell, every day is St. Patrick's Day. Every day is St. Patrick's Day. And it's the kick-off at the moment, watching Liverpool and Man City, that's every day is hell. That's how hell is going to be for me.
Yeah.
It's going to be at the kick-off watching the Liverpool Man City Champions League final.
Yeah. Just and I found it the other week, when I was watching the Liverpool City game, the cup game, and then the games before that. There's part of you dies inside when you start watching a game and go, right, come on City, let's win this. What am I doing? Because obviously you have to pick one of them.
When they scored against Liverpool, City. I went...
Yeah, I almost cheered a City goal. What is that? What kind of life do we live? What would Sir Alex Ferguson say if he could see us now? I say that like he's not watching every week. But from that in 2013... life couldn't be better. It's been so good for so long. Now you have to pick which of City or Liverpool you want to win every trophy in Europe. And it's me and Jay were talking the other day. It's plotting it out. So it's I don't mind if City win the league because they're still so far behind, so they can win that. I'd rather Liverpool won the league than City because they're already so far ahead of us that one more to them isn't as bad as City going from never winning it to winning it. So it's like in the league I cheer for City, in the Champions League if it got to that final I'd want Liverpool. Like, what is life? What kind of desperate maths equations are we having to do weekly to stay somewhat mentally afloat? It's just unbelievable, isn't it? It's just awful. And then you're sat around Liverpool and City fans cheering every week.
We're down bad, as they say.
Ridiculous. We
are what they call in the mud.
Yeah, we're absolutely in the mud. We are for the streets. We are in the mud. We are everything you don't want to be. It is awful, isn't it? It is awful. And you have to obviously you sat in the kickoff. Like, is it worse when Liverpool win or when City win? Because Liverpool.
It's worse when Liverpool win. Because it means like it bothers me more.
It means more. We've almost stole their catchphrase.
I tried not to say that. Could you see me?
I could see. I heard it.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
You took it from him.
It bothers me a lot more.
Yeah.
Like, in here, in my chest.
Yeah. Accidentally saying Liverpool quotes out of nowhere. Yeah.
That's a stupid one. That's the worst quote, by the way.
Yeah,
it means more. How does it mean more?
It doesn't make sense. Yeah. What does it even
exactly
mean?
The same. Div.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Ow.
Yeah, that's how you know you're spending too much time around Liverpool fans when you accidentally start saying their quotes.
I didn't accidentally say it, actually.
You nearly did, though. In a minute, I'll say to you, you smell nice, Adam, and you'll go, well, that's weird because I never walk alone. And you're like, no, I've said it. You're going to be saying all their phrases. Thank you very much.
That is very good. Where have you stolen that from?
Just got it in my head then. Just came up with it.
Nah,
straight off the dome, mate.
I promise you. No way. You freestyled that.
You know what? I'm taking that as a compliment because I've never heard anyone say that and I just came up with it now.
I want to vote on this. Did Joe just freestyle that? Or have you heard it before?
Let you know in the comments. Has anyone ever heard anyone say that before about wearing cologne? It smells nice, doesn't it? I just came up with that one. Easy peasy.
I did. I refuse to agree.
Well, that's not fair, is it?
What else can we talk about? Oh, bro, have you watched Wim Hof with Patrice Evra?
No, but I love Wim Hof. Is he still
doing it? Wim Hof is the man, bro. Yes, bro, I need to do it, but I heard you get quite emotional, so I need to do it on my own.
Yeah, when you're in a good place.
Because you might, start crying on that. You might, some deep shit can happen.
So for anyone who hasn't seen the show, what is happening on the show?
So in this show, there's loads of celebrities. There's Melanie from EastEnders. There's Gabby Logan. There's Patrice Evra. There's a few other fellas and ladies that I don't know. And then they go. I don't know where they are. They might be the Antarctic. It looks pretty cold. It's frozen. Icy. Yeah. And they're with Wim Hof, and basically they've got a goal to just jump into the ice, to be able to just accept cold water, icy water, freezing your bollocks off water in it.
Yeah.
And so they're doing loads of different tasks and stuff, but it's kind of like a spiritual, emotional journey, throughout it. And they do that breathing thing, bruv, where you're breathing, doing that breathing exercise. And Patrice Evra starts crying at one point, and bro, there's a deep bit where he speaks about his childhood. Yeah, I won't there's trigger warnings and that, so I won't talk about what he says. But if I had tear in my eye. You get me? Because obviously it's our Patrice Evra as well, and it's So then you're listening to. Obviously, it's a sad story, no matter who it's coming from, but you feel a connection to him because it's Patrice Evra. It's deep, bro.
Yeah.
And so. I learned about Wim Hof because I didn't know about him before that.
Well, he's known as the Iceman, isn't he? And he's got loads of records.
And now I've been subscribed, and I like watching him, and I want to do the breathing thing.
But he's one of those people where you hear about some of the stuff he's done, the amount of time spent in cold water, hours on end and stuff, how he lives his lifestyle and everything. And he seems like one of those people that's maybe some kind of fake, spooky type, like almost lying about what he does. But he's someone who has done loads of experiments with scientists and stuff and been probed up, and he's not faking it. It's not like some trick or something. He literally does spend hours at a time in freezing cold water, and it's made it. He can control his immune system and stuff, can't he, through the cold water, and he never gets ill, and he can get rid of colds and stuff dead quickly and everything. It's almost
subscribe to his YouTube
slightly
channel.
Freaky, isn't it?
But also, when I was in the gym, I tried to have a cold shower. Oh, bro, I failed miserably, man.
Just screaming in the shower. Everyone's like, one of the communal showers. Everyone's like, oh, it's cold on my back. Bloody hell. Wait, are you all right? I'm Wim Hof.
Brain freeze.
Oh, Wim Hof, will you? It's hurting me. It's freezing this.
You look like one of the Wim Hof fellas. You love a cold shower, don't you?
I do like a cold shower.
You love nudist beach as well, don't you?
I don't, but I would go to one. I think I'm at the age now where I do one. I think I'm at the age now where I do one because I like the great thing about nudist beaches. The only thing you can really show off is a nice pair of sandals. So I'd get like some really cool sandals because that's the only bit of clothing on a nudist beach. Socks and sandals, and then I'm just strolling and patrolling after that, keeping my eyes to myself, but really having a little look at the same time. I'd absolutely
you wear
love
sunglasses?
that. No, I wouldn't. Yeah, I would, but down there. Down there. Don't want him getting burned. I've got to put a bit of sun cream on my nose like a cricketer.
Like a cricketer in the ashes.
Yeah, exactly. Bit down the shaft and a bit on the bollocks either side.
Wait, is this a manscape, Dad?
Disgusting. It might be. It should be by the end of it. Would you not do that? Would you not go to a nudist beach? Think of the freedom.
Nah, man. I don't even get my bollocks out in the gym, bro. Like, you know how them man just walk around with dicks out and that?
Yeah.
I don't do it, man.
No. Yeah.
I'm happy with my piece. I'm not embarrassed of it. But
okay, well,
I don't know. I think
you'd have to say that.
I don't know if it's just like, I don't know, man. Even in man, why you walking around with, like, people don't need to see that.
It's quite common though in the gym. There's a certain type of bloke that not
I think
only
old
is
fellas
okay
thrive.
with
Some of
it,
these old fellas thrive off it. They're like, ain't nobody seen this in a while, so I'm gonna swing it out.
I don't want you to guess any names because I ain't saying who it is, even if you might know. But one of those old fellas is a former Manchester United player that I saw in the gym the other day, walking around like that, and his locker was this far from where I was sitting, and I won't say any more. Honestly, locker, whatever you want to call it, he was getting his clothes out, and it was within spitting distance. Let me just say that much. I had to turn away and get out of there immediately.
So, you saw a Manchester United legend's penis?
Yeah, I didn't see it, but I was close to it. I just turned and absolutely bolted. I was like, I can't have seen what I've just seen. I've seen highlights. I've seen it. I made eye contact with it. I can't be doing that. So I got out of there and ran away, and it scared me.
Impressive?
I didn't actually look at it. I just got this sort of the shape of it in the distance. Do you know what I mean? Do you know, like, out the corner of your eye, you think you see like a fox running down a little alleyway or something?
Are you regretting saying this on the podcast now? So you're hoping that?
Am I regretting saying this on the podcast? That's a good question. Yes, I am, and I wish I'd never said it now. Yeah, but that's what.
Is that why you're trying to backtrack? And say, "Oh, I never said it really." Backtrack. What happens in the locker room is supposed to stay in the locker room and not end up on Uncensored, but it has.
Well, it's meant to be Uncensored. That's the whole point.
We got 1 minute left.
Yeah. Because
we're doing this by Zoom and we haven't paid for Zoom.
Professional.
Times are hard, but we are going to the pre-season tour. So if there's any events or anything out there you want Paddock to be at, in Melbourne, in Perth, in Bangkok, let us know. We're going to be out there. So yeah. Joe, any final words on Uncensored?
Check out, mate. That's my final word for you.
That's
thanks for having me.
That's uncalled for. I didn't say you could plug it twice.
Sorry. Well, yeah. Sorry.
So bleep that second one. Bleep that out. So they wouldn't have even heard what that said because that got bleeped out. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, comment, share. Subscribe to Bleep Bleep as well, his podcast. And we'll see you later.